I feel like we need a new disclaimer for this. I think we need something that any similarities between these stage and actual football players that they
Yes!
I will admit to mining some of our scenarios for the first two seasons of running the football. There were a lot of strong personalities in that for sure.
I was going to say, watching this whole series give me flashbacks to certain things like that. And I always wondered if you modeled them after particular commissioners, maybe. But yeah, speaking of the leagues, how many people in here actually play in the league? Yeah? A couple? Nice. All right, we got a couple in here. Thank you guys.
Well, that's a great time. I mean, that's a sign of evolution right there, because when we first started doing this, most of the people who played in the leagues. How many of you played in the hopper, in the actual... Wow. There you go right there.
Well, in case you didn't know, there are Grifball leagues. They started out in Halo 3 because the only way to play Grifball was to do custom matches. And for most people, double XP weekends just, weren't enough. 72 hours, 24 hours, whatever Grifball. I know for me, it was never enough. So, leagues existed so that people could play more Grifball. The very first Grifball league was one that Burnie mentioned earlier on GrifballHub. And Tex over here is an admin on that site, and he ran the entire last season pretty much. And so Tex, why don't you talk a little bit about GrifballHub?
Well, GrifballHub houses the AGLA, which is the American Grifball League of America. But it's the original league. It was originally 8 teams that were correct. The original tournament, and it's just grown over the years. Long legacy, because a lot of people have been around since originally, which was 3 years ago, roughly, just about the 3-year mark. So we've been doing the league live, but we've been doing the league for 3 years, and got a lot of those long 10-year players in there that look bicker a lot with each other. So it has the feeling of a sports league, I mean, you're going to have people going after each other, people going to beat each other, just breeds, higher players, and, so that's the league. And right now, the signups are actually going on over at GrifballHub in the league if some of y'all want to play the league.
You're all coming and sign up. And if you don't have a team that's okay, you're looking for a player or looking for a team threat, so you can just sign up as a free agent and get drafted onto a team if you are looking for one. And Tex, what are some of the benefits of playing in the league?
Some benefits is, I don't know if you consider a benefit or not, it's 9 rounds as opposed to matchmaking 5. They are untimed. I think the record is over an hour for one game. Hour 16, so an hour and 16 minutes. And I don't know if y'all played, matchmaking just nonstop with yours, but an hour and 16-minute game, you have bathroom breaks you gotta go to, your hands are sweating. It's really awesome to be a part of something like that, like a 40-minute game, and then coming out on top or throwing your controller across the room and you lose. Sorry about that, but I mean, it gives you a whole different perspective as opposed to just a little 5 minutes. You got a lot more commitment. You meet people who are committed to Grifball and actually taking an extra step in playing in the league and showing up for practices.
I think one of the best things about playing in the league is that, who here goes to Grifball matchmaking by themselves? Yeah, and it sucks sometimes, right? If you get spawn camped and you get too bad and you get stat padded against, it really sucks. And, or camps and things like that. But in the league, you have a chance to develop, you have your teammates, obviously, so you just expanded your Grifball friends list by 3 or 4 or 5. And then you play against other teams, and so now you've doubled your Grifball friends list. And all of those teams have friends. And my friends list is full, and it's probably about 60 to 70% Grifballers. So pretty much anytime I want to go into matchmaking, I've got an entire list of people that I can go in, so I never have to go in with a team of less than 4, which makes Grifball a lot more enjoyable. So playing in the league, even if you don't want to take it super serious, even if you just go there to have fun, totally encouraged. But it builds that Grifball friends list, which is so important because it makes things more fun. I think so. Now, as always, we always want more Grifball, because again, in Halo 3, the only way you could do it was in custom games. And so a second league was created because how the seasons work is it's 5 weeks, and then there's a week for makeup week, and then there's usually 5 to 6 weeks of playoffs. So usually around 10 to 11 weeks of Grifball, then there's 4 weeks off, and then you start again. So, if you make it all the way to the championship, there's 4 weeks off, and then you can play again. It doesn't sound that bad. Well, if your team really never makes it to the playoffs, we try. That's about, that's like 10 weeks. That's about 9 to 10 weeks where you can't play Grifball in the league. which now, again, it's not as big of a deal, but it's a lot of downtime, and we actually lost a lot of players because of it.
We gotta get our fix, basically, we're addicts.
Yeah. So basically, the introduction of the second league allowed there to be more grip all the time, because as soon as the regular season ends with the AGLA, the GGL starts up. So that way, you can literally play league grifball all the time. And Cal here is going to talk about the GrifballHub Grifball League.
Yep, so the GGL, or the Good Games League, we run it on GrifballHub.com. We run in the AGLA off-season, and then the AGLA runs in our off-season. So no matter what time it is during the year, there's always going to be a Grifball League just around the corner for you to join. The GGL runs very similarly to the AGLA in that we have a 5-week season and a makeup week, and then we have playoffs. The GGL, we are a little looser when it comes to who's on your roster. You can actually use guest players in the GGL, for example. So if you want to borrow someone from another team to play in your match, you can do that. We have a couple other additional things just to make it even more ballsy. We have achievables, for example, which allows every week it goes a weekly challenge for your grifball games, like get a yoink during the game, or assassinate the enemy bomb runner on your half of the court, or go through the whole game without using any health packs. And if you do those in the GGL, you get bonus points, and you can actually make the playoffs by having a good enough grit score, even if you lose every game in the season. We've actually done that before, where we lost every game but still made the playoffs because of the achievables.
Well done.
No grifball.
Yeah. We lost in the first round of the playoffs.
But we made playoffs.
Yeah, that's
And
important. Yeah. So the GGL right now, we just we're wrapping up our makeup week right now. The playoffs are going to start. The next season, the GGL is in May. But in the meantime, we have the official GrifballHub.com league just starting up now. So if you have a hankering for grifball, you should join the AGLA, sign up to go for a whole week now. And then next season, you can start the GGL. That way you can get your year-round grifball fix.
And put them on all year round.
Exactly.
Which makes it willing to continue to go into matchmaking, which I think is amazing.
So you do get all the perks in the league, you need to add to your friends list, and being part of the grifball community on both sites, and all 9 yards.
If you do sign up for leagues, buy an extra controller. That's very works, at least you wear out your legs pretty quickly, depending on your bike setup.
Now, speaking of matchmaking, there are two variants of matchmaking. There is vanilla grifball, and there is GrifballHub Evolved, or where you use vague. By clapping, how many people like vanilla grifball best? Another thing about joining the leagues is that there's a third variation. It's called Griffball Dash, which is when there's sprints and there's a vague. During the highlight roll, we saw Cal's highlight where he did what we call a barrel roll, where he was able to pick up the bomb and roll with it twice and score.
That is the only way I can get into a highlight reel.
But it's not matchmaking because Bungie didn't want to keep it simple. I mean, so many things changed from Halo 3 Grifball to Halo Reach Grifball. Anybody who's had to deal with the hammer, you know the range is different. It's completely weird. Jumping, launching, everything is completely different in Reach. So we wanted to keep it simple, so the transition would be easier. But playing Dash, I think, that's definitely my favorite version. I think it's a lot more hectic, it's a lot more fast-paced. So if you're interested in playing that, make sure you join one of the leagues.
There's a super awesome version, I don't know what it's called, but it has a golf ball. And some of the ball spawns with the golf ball, and like the golf ball is your face all the time. So
You can use button medals as well.
what is that called?
It's called Handmade, and it was created by Master Mapmaker, Run Master Run, who pretty much did all of the maps for Halo 3. He did many of them that used Team Tex. Basically what it is, it's a vanilla variant, so no armor abilities, but he figured out how to get the bomb to spawn on the golf ball, so every time you drop a bomb or you're killed, the bomb respawns wherever the golf ball is. So you've got people like chasing after Griff, trying to kill him, you've got people chasing the golf ball, trying to splatter people with it, and then you've got some really smart players who like lure people to their side of the court while the golf ball's on the other side of the court and then kill them, and the bomb resets to on the opposite side, and then runner picks it up and plants it. It's a lot of fun.
It allows for full court passes with the ball.
Yeah.
Oh.
It can be pretty embarrassing though if it's done against you.
This is one of the game types we're going to be looking into having in a matchmaking sometime in the next few months.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be doing that. As well as jetpack grifball. A lot of people have been asking for grifball jetpacks. So we have actually two different variants that we're going to try and get in got an email from Burnie, and he was like, "Hey, this is Bungie. This is GrifballHub. You two go and make a little playlist together." And that was probably one of my favorite emails of all time. That was one of the most exciting things. And so yeah, we call this Chickens Play Matchmaking. The three of us up here, and Nuclear Taco right there, wave. Yes, Nuclear Taco 42. He is a master forger. Every single map that you guys see in matchmaking came through us, through our community. We did this huge call out to the community requesting maps. We've had over 150 submitted. We went through, Taco checked them up. Yeah, he's shaking his head right now. Went through, checked everything, spawns, health packs, everything. And then we had a voting process. We put it to the community. Let people vote on which game types they like the best, what maps they like the best. And then we submitted to Bungie. We had this huge layout. It was 15 maps. Each map had like 2 or 3 different game variants and like 45 different variations. And Bungie wrote it back and was like, pick 3. We're like, okay. So then we narrowed it down to 3, and those are the 3 maps and game games that you guys had in a little 2-week, I don't know what you call it, primer?
Super Grif.
Yeah, Super Grif. Everybody remember Super Grif? When you'd stab him in the back and he didn't die?
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't on purpose. That was an accident.
No, it wasn't us.
It's no one's fault. Everything's
Blame Smosh.
there you go. So, and then after the 2 week, through the week hiatus, and I don't know about you guys, but we were really overrun with people. When's it coming back? Is it permanent? Bring it back. Why can't you guys make it stay permanent? Like, apparently we own Bungie or something. Which we don't. We're no way related.
We'll be signing on it, guys.
But then when they brought it back, we had all of the updated versions and the 2 new maps that were included because people wanted more variations of vanilla, and so we gave these to you. And hopefully there'll be an update coming pretty soon, which will include only NA and jetpacks. So,
Yep, and we're always open to any suggestions from the community. I mean, of course, the maps and the game types were put to the community, and the community rigorously tested them, and several members of the community had some really good ideas and really good tweaks on how to make the game types even better. And so if there are any opinions, we're always open to them, and if you have a map that you would like to include, we'd be happy to take a look at it too. We're going to have instructions on GrifballHub instructing you how to properly submit your map so it can get to Taco. So Taco can take a look at it and see how it works.
and just don't talk about, please don't put kill balls on your map. Especially in the middle of the court, it really kind of disrupts the flow of the game. If you really want to get your map in the matchmaking, you've got to make sure it's clean. Like, there's no Z fighting, nothing like that, no kill balls. I cannot stress that enough. Yes, they're cool, but when you put it into matchmaking, there's lots of glitching, especially for split screens, so Bungie just doesn't even allow it. Don't put stuff that juts out into the court, so when you're rolling or running and you hit it and you can't move, it's very annoying, and we'll force you to take it out. But be as creative as you want with like the designs. We have some really amazing, Knockyard actually, were his candidate. He created what he calls the hyperbaric chamber, and it's actually a perfectly cylindrical map like this. The floor is flat, but that way the ball can roll, the golf ball can actually roll like up to the ceiling and stuff like that and drop down and splatter you. So be as creative as you want. Like concave, it's not a flat map, it's curved. And so be as creative as you want, but be clear. Nobody wants to be sad and roll and get stuck and die. So now, just what's your favorite map? Do you have a favorite map or do you have?
I think the golf ball. Yeah.
And Burnie, you said you got a chance to play.
Yeah, I always like the classic square. The Grifball Palace was when Knockyard was making ones that were in Halo 3. It was stuff that he could do in Forge that seemingly nobody else could do in Halo 3 for it. That's when I first met him. Your experience with putting stuff in matchmaking, I had a similar experience. That happens. You can test things all you want, but once the full Halo community gets hold of something, they can find it. Like the first Grifball map we had, just had one tiered little wall. That was it, and it was you just didn't jump over it. And when Bungie looked at it, they go, "Well, what's keeping people from jumping over the wall?" And I was so naive. I said, "Why would they do that?" Even after Knockyard made a wall, there was a hole in the side of it, where they worked their way up. But that was that. And then I played one recently where it was, I don't know the name of it, but it was almost like you started at the top, and it was like the opposite of like Mayan temple, where you went down
Yes.
the wall. And it was, I think it might have been, I played some low res variants, but I don't know, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't know who made the map or what the name
Is that
was.
part of the golf match?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
It was awesome. It was the last one.
No, it's Chichen Itza. That was the,
Yep.
in front of Rand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a doctor.
Okay. Look big now.
Yeah, serious. And tell us about you, what's your favorite
Right now, well, it's not the more than matchmaking.
Anyway.
I like the cathedral. I think last cathedral. Yeah, there's one that's not match. Is that called matchmaking?
Is that not what you're talking about?
Or are you talking about Notre Dame?
Notre Grip, yes. Notre Grip is one that's not matchmaking. Dr. Manhattan. And this map, it's not really great for Grifball, but the look of it is amazing. It's like a cathedral. It's really amazing. You call the glass pieces and line them up perfectly and had way too much time than I can do. But
It really looks like Notre Dame Cathedral. Like it has the buttresses and it has the glass panes and it's got these huge color reflecting windows. And the only reason it might not be great for Grifball, it has ramps up to the bottom plan. It's supposed to help with spawn killing, which is a big issue in Grifball apparently. I think it's legitimate. But yeah, there's ramps which is really annoying to spawn. But okay, how about
Well, my favorite game type is Grifball Dash, one where you can do both sprint and evade, because I'm the bomb runner, and I really love being able to just turn on the juice and run away from the tanks. That's my favorite part. My favorite map is probably Cliffside, which is one that Nuclear Taco made. It's the outdoor map that just has the rocks as the wall, so it's all natural, and I just think that looks so cool.
Yeah, Cliffside is also my favorite too. It was the very first outdoor map because most of them that we saw, they kept the very Foundry tradition, the enclosed indoor map, and literally all the walls and everything except for the floor itself is natural. The rocks, the bomb plant is on the racks, and at one point we actually had the bomb plants inside the rock, and people couldn't find them. So that was something we had to fix. But that definitely is my favorite. Now I think we have something else to show, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to show the transfer over.
So, looking into the future for Grifball, there's a lot of really exciting things. And how many people here have the Spartan armor for their avatar? Anybody here? Yeah? Well, you might do it like this.
So, 343, they came to us and asked us, and we'll talk a little bit more about this at our panel, which is tomorrow before the Roosters panel, but they said, we're going to be doing some Xbox Live Marketplace, Avatar Marketplace items for the community. Do you think you would want to include some red versus blue things in there? We contributed some ideas, and one of the ones that we kicked out, thinking, hoping they would do it, and they loved it because it's Grifball related. Do you want to play it? This is a prop that's going to be available soon in the Avatar